Computer animation is the process used for generating animated images. The more general term computer-generated imagery, or CGI, encompasses both static scenes and dynamic images, while computer animation only refers to the moving images. However, computer animation in film is a whole new story. While it hasn't always been as seamless as more modern movies such as The Jungle Book or The Hobbit, CGI has been around for a very long time, making its first appearance in the film Westworld, a 1973 sci-fi western movie, as a 2D rendered image. From there, the art of computer animation in film took off. The first completely CGI scene was in the original Tron movie. Most can't see this at first as an art, however it is much as art as Picasso's paintings are. Animation using computers continues to evolve with a mixture between live action and CGI, first seen in the movie Young Sherlock Holmes. While to the 2016 eye, this animation isn't anything breathtaking, but however to moviegoers in 1985, this was a revolutionary thing to see. This was a turning point for the computer animation movement, as filmmaking companies started to invest more and more in the computer animation artists to create bigger and better things. We start to see this when Lucasfilm Animation Department released a short called The Adventures of Andre and Wally B. This was not only 100% CGI art, but it was also the launch of what would later be Pixar, the largest computer animation company to exist. Back to live-action CGI incorporation, the critically acclaimed film Jurassic Park astounded audiences with a surreal use of CGI. Not only was it blended excellently with realistic and practical effects, but it used an entirely new type of CGI, which instead of using a claymation or stop motion and then adding it to the original film, it was a model that was designed entirely on the computer and then added to the footage later. Here you can see the first CGI dinosaur from one of the first scenes. It's amazing that a film from 1993 still holds up to today's standards. Back to Pixar, we see our first full-length, completely CGI film, Toy Story. It is an incredible art form that captured audiences in a whole new perspective. This started to attract previous animators who were used to using the standard form of animation, such as the one seen in The Lion King, The Land Before Time, and Lilo and Stitch. As artists, they evolved by using computer drawing devices that use a pressure pen technology to capture the artist's drawing on the computer. This split the artists into two groups, the ones focused on live-action realism CGI or completely CGI animation. With this form of animation, artists were able to use technology to get movies done quicker, make them look more realistic, and be more creative with the process. The introduction of CGI allowed for a huge new breakthrough for filmmakers, a vast amount of new options. Directors started to realize that they were able to reach beyond the boundaries of reality and started to express that using CGI. For example, how horrible would Transformers be if there weren't computer artists to make the characters? The art of animation transformed movies into a more visually pleasing effect that captured thousands of minds. As years went on, computers and supercomputers became more and more powerful. We were able to manage more and more data, giving us the ability to work with more details. Think to the imagery used in the first Shrek movie compared to the newest film, Moana. How exactly do you make this type of art? Well, artists use computers to craft each individual movement, as seen here in the making of Toy Story 3. Each movement is extremely meticulous and requires a whole team of artists to make it all happen. The art of computer animation is so unique because it is the easiest to be spread in movie theaters, DVDs, and anywhere you can stream film. Most art is stationary and unchanging, but computer animation moves and changes to create a full story. Computer animation has not only been one of the most important art and film movements, but it has also been relevant in making stories that have not been able to have been told without it. Famous director James Cameron admits that he had had the idea for Avatar in his head since the early 1990s. However, he had to wait for the technology, and anyone who saw the fantastic art in the movie could attest to it. Some of the most famous computer animation artists are John Lasseter, famous for being a lead computer animator in Cars, Bug's Life, and Toy Story. Another is Andrew Stanton, who is responsible for Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, and WALL-E. Another famous computer animation artist is Nathan Greeno, famous for Tangled and Meet the Robinsons. Each of these artists played a key role in defining the computer animation in these films. A lot of people don't know just how many people are doing computer animation. However, there are endless film festivals with a computer animation category. There are degrees you can get in computer animation. There are tons and tons of studios working on making computer animation films and films with computer animation in them, whether as a small part of the movie or the entire movie itself. Whether you like it or not, computer animation is becoming one of the most popular styles of art and is definitive in anyone's childhood who goes to the movies to watch Dory, Moana, or Toothless.